dealing with a woman who was a Canaanite woman. And he would not touch that woman. Her seed was already cursed in Genesis 9:25 and followed her through Leviticus. And Abraham was told, do not marry the Canaanite women. And Abraham told his son, Isaac, do not marry the Canaanite people amongst whom we live. You understand? And they took the land of the Canaanites. God just told him, go steal the land of the Canaanites and make it yours. Leviticus chapter 14, verse 33. All right, somebody read Matthew chapter 15, verse 22.
And behold, the woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord.
You have to read 21 for them to know what coast you're talking about.
Okay.
And Jesus went thence and departed, right, into the coast of
Tyre
and
Sidon.
Who is Sidon?
The son of Canaan.
That's right. All we got to do is go back to Genesis chapter 10 again, where they start giving you the families of everybody.
Right.
And we're going to find out who Sidon or Sidon is. Read it.
And Canaan begat Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth.
All right. Now this is the people. Many people say, no, Esau. Because Esau, the brother of Jacob, Yitzhak in Hebrew, also means hairy. But they identified him as Edom, or red and hairy, and was making a statement pertaining to the pottage that Jacob was tricking him out of for his birthright. It's very clear. Yes, the devil does walk amongst us, and it can be traced through the Bible. When is the first time evil comes up? Where's the first time Satan comes up? The first time Satan comes up is in 1 Chronicles 21:1. And they use the word Satan, adversary. You understand? The first time the word evil comes up is in Genesis chapter 2, verse 9, but it's pertaining to a tree, not to a people, not to a person. They pertain to a certain form of knowledge of good and evil that man had obtained, or a tree, or a place from which he could have obtained it. You know, that tree concept of knowledge of good and evil goes back to Siddhartha Gautama's Buddha also. Because after he finished his journey, he sat up under the tree to differentiate all the knowledge he had experienced in his journey and to separate the good from the evil. It's amazing how much stuff was borrowed and stole from ancient religions or religions that predate Christianity and end up in Christianity.
Right.
All right? We already touched on Genesis chapter 3, verse 24. And we find out that God flew around on wings, and that those winged creatures were called cherubims, and that was an Akkadian word, not a Hebrew word, an Akkadian word going back to the people of Uruk, Babel, Shinar, and Calneh. And that Calneh means a fortress of Anu, and that therefore Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord, was worshiping a Sumerian deity called Anu, who was remember the Sumerian rendition of the god Ra from ancient Egypt. And that the tower he was building was no more than an Egyptian tower, and that's what intimidated the god. And that God is the same God that was in the garden with Adam and Eve in them. You follow that? And he was also intimidated by that being called Nakash, whose Egyptian name is Mahan, by the way. They have a real name for him, Mahan, who was in the garden, because that garden really was not over here in the Middle East, as they put it, but it's really over in Egypt. And you get the whole story of the so-called Cain and Abel, and the whole story of Adam and Eve, and the devil in the tree, but instead of it being over there where they made it, it's over in Egypt. And one day we'll put that text before you, so you can see where it was borrowed from. You might not like that, but truth is truth. Today in time we're in. All right, so we're moving on here, right? So we find out that the Lord is working with cherubims, right? We find out there was a war in heaven. The war in heaven in Revelation chapter 12, verse 7, was between Michael and Michael's angelos and who? The devil and his angelos. Now the devil becomes a person. He's called dragon. He's called the devil. He's called Satan. He's called that old devil. All that's New Testament knowledge. None of it is relating directly to the Old Testament. Because as you just saw, it's not in there. But the story is there. That's a war between what they call the cherubims and the seraphims. Good and bad angels. And God of Genesis chose to use the
cherubims.
He chose to use the goats. He chose to use the goat as opposed to the lambs. Because Adam was the seed of the lamb. Now, many people will say, no, Adam was goat people. Because Adam red and ruddy. You follow? And they get Adam and Edom because they have the same root. Red and ruddy. No problem. Adam and Eve being Caucasian is no problem. It's just that Caucasians are not red. But if you want to be considered red and take Adam and Eve, no problem. Because the whole Adam and Eve and God's story and serpent's story, as you read last week, is nothing but mass confusion. And the devil is made bad when he didn't really do nothing bad. And Eve lied, and Adam deceived God and tried to hide from God. And Eve listened to gossip about God from this being called Nakas when she shouldn't have if she was any loyal. So if you want that package, you can have it. Because we know for a fact that Sumerians, like you borrowed the name cherubim, existed before that. And we know scientific evidence has proven that you say your Bible is only 6,000 years old and your Adam creation took place 4,004 years ago, which would make it canon if you check your Bible closely, coming back 4,000 years from Jesus, and then 2,000 years now, 6,000 years would be the end of your period, 6,000 years up, and your whole lifespan would be equivalent to 6,000 years, taking you back to 4,004, and therefore your Adam would really be canon.
Right.
And he was red and ruddy because he was a leper.
Right.
You understand? We don't have no problem with that, and that we predate that as Egyptians, as Sumerians, as the original Mesopotamians, as the original Chaldeans, as the original Akkadians. We predate the people of the Bible. So you can have that if that makes you feel superior, because it makes your history very short. Lucy, Kenya man, Uganda. All right, we went to Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 14. Right? Let's see what it says. And everyone had 4 faces. The first face was the face of a cherub. And the second face was the face of a man. And the third face was the face of a lion. And the fourth face was the face of a eagle. Now, if you went to Revelations and saw the same 4 animals, you know which one is missing? The cow or the calf. And the goat belongs to the calf family and is milked like a cow. So now look what Ezekiel is telling you the cherub is. It's giving you the cherubs come in the form of men, the lion, which is the griffin, the creatures that are lions or bulls with wings, comes in the form of angels, wings as eagles that Jehovah was flying on. And the last one they said face of a cherub. But in Revelation, when they give you the 4 beasts around the throne, but they're giving you a symbolic reference of animals in association with the devil. Revelation chapter 4, verse 6. Go ahead.
And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts.
4 beasts. The beasts of the field. Remember that? Genesis chapter 3. Go ahead.
And round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind.
Now we're going into Revelation chapter 4, verse 7. Read it.
And the first beast was like a lion, and
Uh-huh.
the second beast was like a calf,
Uh-huh.
and the third beast had a face as a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle.
Now let's go back and look at Ezekiel when they're talking about cherubs. And this is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 14. And let's see those same beasts described. Only one face is removed. Keep your hand there. One is removed. Because we got the face of a man, the face of a lion, and the face of an eagle. Which one is removed from your Revelations?
The calf is removed.
The calf is removed. See, and the calf belongs to the goat family.
Right.
So again, they're telling you that's a symbol of the devil. That's why they call them 4 living beasts coming out with the harlot, or with the beast with the 7 heads and the 10 horns in the book of Revelation. You follow what I'm trying to say? They're telling you in the Bible who the devil is and how he's walking amongst you and what he even looks like, but you don't want to see it because you'll call it racism. It'll be called racism if you tell the truth. And you'll be scorned and called a cult and slandered and called black supremacists. But it's all right for white supremacy for you to go around and say a person is blackballed. That's okay. For the Muslim to say the black stone, let me tell you something. The black stone, they say, was once dazzling white, and the sins of evil people turned it black. The contradiction comes in where by the time a person gets to the point where they can kiss the black stone, they should no longer be evil according to Islam. I was born a Muslim and raised a Muslim. I know and been to Mecca several times and have touched the black stone. And know for a fact, first of all, it's not black, it's brown. And that ain't nobody supposed to get that close to it with sin in them. You see, so they right there you see it kind of, but that kind of racism is okay. Or in the last day, the face will be burned black and go to hell in the Quran. That's okay. For you to have Caucasian Jesuses all over the place doing Easter for little black children to see, and little Mexican children to see, and little Chinese children to see, and little Korean and Japanese children to see, that's okay. But if I go and put a black picture of Jesus or quote the Bible and show you where Jesus is a Negro, I have to become a racist. Because I don't want my sons and daughters worshiping your image. Because I got to be afraid of the fact that the word beast was there. And worshiping the image of the beast is in Revelation chapter 13. You understand?